Okay, so you need to remove the tire. Everybody should have safety glasses on.
Oh, that's only 3.
Okay. What is this?
Rotor disc.
What is it? It's a brake rotor. What is it? One more time. Okay, what's this?
Brake caliper.
Caliper? What kind of caliper? Okay. What's this? What are these in here? Brake pads. Okay, what's this? Just a mounting bracket, don't worry about it. Okay. So you got the caliper, rotor, pads. So right here you can see this bolt. You can either use a ratchet and socket setup, or a wrench with a ratcheting end. Whatever you feel is best. Okay, if I'm standing here, what's tightening and what's loosening? Righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? So I need to go left. So is this way left? Okay, now let me ask though, if we were standing facing the bolt, that would be loosening it. Yeah. But if you're facing this way, it almost looks like you're going the wrong way. So once you get these loose, most of the time you can do it by hand right after.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Now, guys, Destin, thank you. Okay, now, do you see this hose right here? This is the brake line. If you just, this is really light, so it probably won't hurt it, but if you just let this hang on most brake jobs or fall down, the line right here where I'm pointing, as you can see on the TV, is going to start breaking, kinking, and wear out. So what's something we can do to keep that from happening?
Zip tie it.
Okay, bungee, zip tie, wire tie. I have this conveniently right here. Okay. Next, you got your brake pads. They come off pretty easy. So these are pretty thick looking, right? This is about what your brand new brake pads are going to look like if you're on a bigger truck. The reason these are so thick is because this Envoy only has 18 miles on it. So you pull those off the front and the back. Generally, how many of you have been riding in a car and heard the brake pads start squilling? Oh yeah. Yeah, most likely you've worn down too much. And there's little, well, brand new, yeah. There's these little metal tabs on here. You can see me flicking that. Okay. What those little metal tabs do is they cause a squilling when the pad wears down. You also have these little metal guards that sit on there. They're not guards. They actually are what creates a layer between your mounting bracket here and your brake pad. So it'll sit and rub on that right there instead of the metal to metal over here, and you can put a little bit of brake lube on there, whatever you need. Take both those off. Now what we have left is this mounting bracket right here. I like to find a longer ratchet because they're usually tight. Sometimes you have to use an air gun too. Okay, a lot of times you do it by hand after. Sometimes you have to use Any questions so far?
Is that fun?
Oh, I love it.
I knew it.
Having a gay time in here. Okay. What is this? What is it? It's a bolt. What is this? A nut. Okay, this class is much smarter than maybe the class I had earlier. Okay. I don't know. Probably. Okay. This comes off right here. Okay.
Oh my.
This is what?
That's cool.
Brake rotor.
Okay, what?
Brake rotor.
Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of times when you're just doing your brakes at home, y'all people will just leave this on and slap new pads on it. That's the cheap, quick way to do it. It can be safe, but it can be dangerous. At a shop, you're either going to take this off and you're going to replace it with a new one, or we have a brake lathe that's just right there behind us. We'll do another day that you put this on and you machine a thin layer off of each side, regrinding it back to its proper form. Now, on the back of this, right here, you can see numbers, and they actually say minimum thickness 27.5 millimeters. So before you can turn a rotor, and if you're going to put it back on, you want to measure it and make sure that it's not below the minimum thickness. Okay, hey, you.
Leave me alone.
Come stand right over here. Destin, come stand right there. Right behind, no, behind this guy. Behind him, on the rack.
Oh, that was cool.
Go stand. You're okay if you two are going to leave each other alone. Okay. So, if we don't service this and leave it, please put that back. Thank you. So, any questions? My disruption made me say things like 5 times. Okay. Once you either get the new rotor, or you surface this, you put it back on. If you get a new one, you want to use brake clean or soap and hot water to clean off the stuff that comes on them. That can ruin your brake pads. It's like it's a film on there that keeps it from rusting out and going bad before it gets to you. Now, what part do we do next? You gotta mount that. So now when you're doing it, you gotta move this up and down and side to side in order for that to fit how it should. And then there's one on the bottom too. Now, let's say the rotor doesn't say its minimum thickness. Where can we find what the minimum thickness should be? What? What? One more time.
All data road.
That's right. We check all data. Who loves all data?
You.
Who thinks Mr. King loves all data? Okay. Okay. Now, there is specs on all data for how tight these should be. On this, we're just going to snug it up with our arms as much as we can. If we bring in your car or customers, we'll torque them to specifications. Okay. Now, do you guys remember what depresses? What depresses the brake pads? The caliper, right? With hydraulic fluid. Yes, that was funny. He said it was pretty depressing. Okay, so if you look at this, in your brake caliper you have these 2 pistons. Some only have 1 piston, some have 2. Never seen 3. Okay, now as your brake pads wear out, these pistons will go out further and further. Correct? Correct. Okay, so we have to compress them back in for them to fit over the new caliper. So one of the ways we can do that is with a C-clamp and putting another brake pad right here against these pistons and just tightening that C-clamp. The way that we can do it in here, because I bought this cool little tool, is as you ratchet this, this opens up. So you set it in there and you kind of pinch down on one side as you ratchet it. We'll get it so you can see it on the camera. Okay, watch these pistons right here. If you can see it in the camera, as I go, it pushes it in. Okay, there wasn't a lot to do, because as we know, because this vehicle only has like 18 miles, these are fairly new. Just a fun little fact, Chevy brake pads, when they come new with the new rotor from factory, are amazing. They'll last, if you don't have heavy braking, 100,000 miles, which is incredible. So my Suburban, we just replaced our brake pad. I just replaced the brake pads on my Suburban at 105,000 miles, and there was still 230 seconds left. And if you don't know what 230 seconds is, that's the amount of space between the tip of a penny to the tip of Lincoln's head. So it's not a ton, but that's enough to pass a tire inspection. If you have 230 seconds, you'll pass a state inspection for your tire. Now when we're done with this, we always screw this back in, so the next person that uses it isn't going to have to do it. They'll do it at the end. Okay. Now, most of your brake pad kits, or if you get a brake pads, they'll come with these new metal things. If they don't, wipe these off, put them back on. Sometimes they only fit one way, sometimes they'll fit both, or sometimes you'll think they fit, and then you go put the brake pad on, and they're just not working right. Okay, you slide each brake pad back in. Who likes the GoPro and being able to see it here while I do this?
I like GoPros in general.
Who feels sometimes like when we did who would have liked having this when we did the fuel pressure on my Jeep? That would have been nice, and everybody could have seen instead of rotating a billion times. Okay, so you get that set back on. Now, you can see this hole and the thing that it's lined up next to. You can see that it kind of floats all around. So when you put this bolt in, you kind of going to have to move it around to find that hole. You'll feel when it connects, and you'll want to do it several turns. And hey guys, relationships in the hallway, quit holding on each other. Come up over here. Okay. Maybe we'll rotate the camera so we can see both. No, we'll leave it there. It's okay. Okay. This is lefty, so I need to change it to the right. Okay. Now, go ahead and jump in there and push the brake pedal several times for me. Now, here's the secret. Here's a secret that I don't want you guys to forget. If you do brakes here or at home, let's say you get all done with your job. Hey, stop, step up. There you go, just stand right there. Okay, if you're doing brake job at home or at a shop or here, let's say you just did all the brakes and you think you're done. You lower the vehicle down, you put it in reverse, and it just all of a sudden starts rolling back. Because what's happened is we released all the pressure on these, and it takes several pumps to get that pressure built up on those brake pads to work right. So now you've essentially lost all your brakes and you'll run into something. Almost everybody has done it at least once, but we're not going to do it here because we pump the brake before we start the vehicle here. Everybody. Okay, go ahead and let off the pedal. Okay, push on the pedal. Okay, I can't even move it once he's pushed on it. Push on it. Okay, so now he's brought that back. Is there any questions? Okay, what is this?
Brake rotor.
What is it?
Brake rotor.
What's this?
Brake caliper.
What is it?